Welcome to another explainer. So, if you're the kind of person who just loves to learn, always striving for that next level, well, you are absolutely in the right place. Let's just dive right in. Did you know that something like 80% of New Year's resolutions completely crash and burn by the second week of February? It's crazy, right? But what if the reason we fail isn't actually a lack of willpower, but, well, how we announce our goals to the rest of the world? Today, we're unpacking some seriously fascinating source material that offers a total paradigm shift on personal growth. We're talking about the power of quiet transformation, and I guarantee you it's going to challenge pretty much everything you've ever been taught about setting goals in the modern world.
I mean, let's be real for a second. How many times have you decided, okay, I'm going to change my life? Maybe you decide you're hitting the gym every single day, or writing that novel, or launching a massive new business. And what's literally the very first thing you do? You post a status update about it. You get the likes, the supportive comments roll in, your phone is just buzzing with these little dopamine hits, and then, a week later you kind of just quietly abandon the whole thing. It's this chaotic cycle of hype and burnout we all know way too well. It actually triggers this psychological thing called premature dopamine satiation. Basically, your brain gets the reward before the work is even done. So why do our biggest public goals so often fail? Our source text zeroes right in on this, and honestly, it might sting a little.
Section 1. The Public Announcement Trap. This is the first major hurdle we have to look at. We live in this era where we just feel so incredibly compelled to broadcast every single intention to our network. But our source text argues that this trap of constant public announcements, it's actually sabotaging our progress before the real work even begins. See, when you declare your goals super loudly, you experience something psychologists call social reality. Your brain literally confuses all that social validation, the "you got this" and "so proud of you" comments, with actually achieving the goal itself. That premature praise spikes your dopamine, sure, but it completely drains the gritty internal drive you need to actually put in the hard work. You feel accomplished, so you simply stop working. And that is exactly why we need a drastic pivot. We have to move away from constant public announcements and toward quiet, consistent daily execution. When you finally stop broadcasting, all that external noise just fades away. That superficial high, gone. And it's replaced by grounded reality. Instead of the loud rush of telling everyone you're going to write a book, you're just sitting alone at a desk at 5 a.m., typing in the dark while the rest of the world sleeps. Nobody is clapping for you. Nobody is liking a status. It's just you and the work. That is where real, lasting change lives, right there in the lonely, quiet execution.
Section 2. Protecting fragile new habits. Let's look at why early growth is just so incredibly vulnerable.
So quiet transformation. This is the deliberate shift from constant public announcements to quiet, consistent daily execution. Think of it as a highly effective, concrete psychological strategy. Look, when you start a new habit, it's kind of like a tiny seedling. It is incredibly fragile, and the outside world is a remarkably harsh environment for a seedling. The glare of public scrutiny, maybe that cynical friend asking if you've lost the weight yet, the unsolicited diet advice from your coworkers, the heavy pressure to show instant results, all of that will just crush your new habit before it even gets a chance. But the secrecy of this quiet transformation, it acts like a protective greenhouse. It completely shields your growth from judgment and expectation, giving those roots the time they actually need to grow deep and strong before they ever have to face the elements.
Section 3. Consistent daily execution. The actual mechanics of doing the work.
Okay, so step 1. Stop constant public announcements. Like literally step away from the keyboard right now and delete the draft post. Step 2. Keep your growth private. Guard it fiercely. When someone asks what you've been up to lately, just give a polite, vague answer and change the subject. Protect your energy. And step 3. Execute daily. When you follow this structured approach and completely remove the audience, your motivation has no choice but to shift from external to internal. It feels really tough at first, for sure, because we naturally crave that validation. But soon, you start building this massive, undeniable momentum entirely away from prying eyes. You aren't doing it for the likes anymore. You're waking up and doing the work solely for yourself.
Section 4. The Resilient Identity Rebuild. Now this is the ultimate reward.
This quiet execution leads directly to a complete mindset rebuild. It's not just checking off outcomes, it's a total personal transformation. By keeping things quiet, you naturally protect those fragile new habits, which then allows you to foster that consistent daily execution without the exhausting distraction of managing your public image. But the real magic? That happens deep within. You literally forge a completely resilient identity. Just imagine walking into a room knowing you've completely overhauled your finances, or finished a screenplay, or overcome a really deep personal struggle, and nobody in that room knows. You don't need them to know. By keeping your growth private, you've actively built an identity that doesn't rely on external validation to survive. You know your worth. You know your capabilities. You become unbreakable, because your foundation is built entirely on private, undeniable proof that you kept your promises to yourself.
Rebuild your life in secret. Now, this isn't about hiding who you are out of shame, not at all. It's about giving yourself the profound respect and the necessary space to become exactly who you want to be, completely free from the interference of the outside world. Really, it's the ultimate power move for personal growth.
So, I leave you with this question. What will you build in secret? What fragile new habit are you going to start protecting today? The world will see your results eventually, but the transformation itself, that belongs entirely to you. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope it sparks some curiosity for you today. Now get out there, or actually, scratch that, stay in there and start building.